Oh, I found a way to trigger slacks. It was great.
Oh, how?
Yesterday, he was just like talking to people, like trying to shoot ideas back and forth.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you trying to get other people to do your work for you? He actually was quite triggered from that. You know, it was just a joke. I was like, but he was visibly upset. Every single time I try and trigger Slacks a little bit more, because he's very good at triggering me when he wants to. But that was the only time that I've actually upset him mildly.
Okay, can everyone actually trigger Slacks harder? I don't know how many people we have watching this stream right now or tuning in inside the game, but can you go to Slacks on Twitter and just tweet at him?
His ideas are unoriginal. You heard he stole his ideas from other people. Like, he just keeps recycling the same old stuff. He's not trying harder in his view. He will get that. Yeah.
Just send Ben. Just put Ben Wu sends his regards.
What?
That's all.
Why am I involved in this?
You're the one that called it out.
That's Stop talking about the facts here, Toby.
Well, let's talk about the draft
Stop spreading
instead.
fake news, dude.
Fake news. All right, brilliant. Timber and Rubik being banned out here by OG. Rubik is, of course, one of the most go-to support heroes of the Faceless lineup. Even back when 7.00 came out, they were picking Rubik in the first two and even throwing him as a mid laner if it worked out for him. But that was a long time ago. No Earth no Magnus, so no easy buff up and team fight for OG to win with. And OG just pick up the Centaur. That's how they'll start with it. And Ice is very, very happy to have his next assassin.
Next first is pretty decent, but I think it's only versus team. I guess they do pick Ember a lot. I do like it versus Ember and Storm. I guess OG actually picked both of those heroes a lot for Ana.
Mm-hmm.
Affirmative.
What? You have to back yourself up.
Affirmative.
Let me give myself a +1.
Affirmative.
Oh, hello, Invoker. Nice. Nice. Because this will be the mid Invoker for Faceless. There won't be any. Every time I look at Faceless and I just say, oh, maybe this will be a black Invoker or something like that. It never is.
It's always Jabs.
Yeah, it's always Jabs.
Jabs is a pretty good Invoker. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this actually gives Faceless a lot more kill potential to go with the next assassin. If he can get the initial stun off and then into Sunstrike.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, though, you're going to look for like another stunner to come up from the safe lane from Faceless. We can still look at the two supports.
Another stunner.
That was so not
There's
it.
3 stunners here, dude. It's 2 stuns from Visage. Potentially 3.
Wrong team, though.
Another stunner.
Wrong team.
I'm bad at rapping.
Yeah, you really are.
I actually wasn't even trying to rap.
Like, have you got to go to the OD school for rap gods?
I'm not play-by-play, bro.
You could be, man.
I'm not good at rapping.
I've heard you play-by-play. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's more than what I can do. I scream at the pretty lights. Do you know the first time I ever cast Dota, and it's like, I think it's appropriate that I tell this story, because the first time I ever cast Dota was actually a LAN event. I never actually cast it online before I cast it at a LAN event.
I'm so successful that the first time I cast was at a LAN
event. No.
Go ahead.
I was not successful. I'd been casting for 3 months, and I was brought over as a Call of Duty 4 caster to the WCG, and this just proved who WCG would bring in to cast your stuff. And they were like, yeah, do you know Dota? And I'm like, I've played a couple of pub games. And they're like, okay, you're the most qualified out of all the commentators we're bringing, so you're going to cast all the Dota games. I'm like, what? And I knew none of the abilities. This was in Warcraft 3 Dota, where you couldn't hover over a skill and see the name of it and everything it did.
You didn't know the names of the spells when you first casted?
I know.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you've casted for 10 years and you still haven't learned?
Wow! Just so many levels of FU.
It's all in good fun, Toby.
When I cast it, and luckily the audio recordings were so badly done that nothing of this was saved, but I would basically just describe things that were happening on the screen. And hilariously enough, most of the time I was actually close to the actual names of abilities. But I was a little bit off on some of them, and it sounded very odd, to say the least. But yeah, it was basically I see, I say kind of casting.
Oh.
So it was very fun.
We can just do that this game. Centaur uses his
It's really difficult though.
Stampede,
He's
Brave.
no, that's not how, you gotta say what you see.
Oh.
So you basically say like Invoker drops his flaming rock.
Oh God. Oh, so it's like people that have never even seen Dota.
Yeah, like you don't know any abilities of anything. You probably played Warcraft 3 at some point of your life. So you'd know the name of the hero, and that'll be all you get.
Wow, lucky you. We can hover nowadays.
Yeah, it was luxury. That was how I cast heroes in New Earth. I didn't watch the game for 6 months, and then whenever I forgot an ability, I just hovered over and looked at it. Thank you very much for that trip. It's terrible times for me.
You seem traumatized.
Oh, it was possibly the most laziest time in my casting career.
That's saying something.
Yeah, that actually does. Like, actually, yeah, because normally I'm not very lazy in my casting, like ever.
All right, back to the draft. Alchemist.
Let's talk about the game, right? That's what we're here for, right?
Oh, I was watching
not story
it the whole
time.
There wasn't anything super strange.
It's all pretty standard. The Undying is probably the only other question mark, but there's something.
They love Undying.
Yeah, Faceless have done it multiple times, and the Warlock fills the same role, right? Like it's that team fight control and lane presence that you get from the Undying.
They don't have a good way to deal with Stampede though. Stampede is great. I think Centaur has won most of his games here at this tournament. I think, like before last series, he was 4-0. And, he gets nerfed constantly, but he's still godly.
Easiest way, man, is just survive and then pull them back. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
What?
Against Stampede, right? That's all you want to do.
Survive?
Yeah. Survive and then turn around and fight him again.
Oh, no, I'm talking about counter initiation.
Okay. Isn't that just when you use Tornado? Like,
ideally, but everyone's hasted. Wait, does it put them? It puts them at 550 now, right? Yeah. I actually didn't realize that the 522 to 550 move speed was a buff for Centaur. No one really considered it. It's like, but now that I'm actually like talking about it, I'm like, oh, it actually buffs Centaur. Everyone moves 28 move speed faster, which is kind of important. 28 moves is a lot. It's like a talent. It's like a good talent. The bad talents are like 15. A good talent is like 28. Huh, interesting. It's obvious that the move speed is 550 now if you read the patch notes, but it's just, some of these small interactions you don't really consider. Anyways.
Kunkka.
Oh, another way to move faster. Kunkka Rum. Earthshaker's a good way to keep him in place.
This actually gives an insane amount of team fight. Like, how much damage you even do. Like, when Kunkka throws out his ship and Centaur triggers his ultimate.
Not much. But you do have you just need to be able to survive until the boat wears off. But that's hard. They have no like real good defensive supports that are good at kind of running in and out of the fight or counter. I guess Warlock kind of.
Faceless kind of looks like the team where they jump in and they start the fight.
Yep.
Instead of OG, like you got Earthshaker, Warlock, like Nyx Assassin's going to be your initial setup as well. Like
Sunstrike, Meteor Blast, all this is like first 4 seconds of the fight. Whereas Kunkka, Boat, Gravekeeper's Cloak, and Stampede with Ags is a lot of mitigation for the first 4+ seconds of the fight. So if they execute correctly and can stun multiple heroes so they can't pop their defense cooldowns, I can see this working out for Faceless. But, back to the Drow Visage.
Yeah, well, she got banned in the 5th when OG tried to do this last time.
I like Drow Ranger. Their anti-push is actually terrible on Faceless. Fissure is not good anti-push because that cooldown is so long, and it's one of your biggest teamfight spells.
And Black's the last hero.
Yeah.
Like, it's the one position here they're looking to fill. Unless we're looking at, like, a damage-dealing position Earthshaker.
No.
Hey,
Black's a little bit eccentric, but not that
who was it yesterday that was trying to talk it up where you get the double I think it was Fogged, who was trying to talk up the double totems. So your damage output is actually insane.
What's a double totem?
With the talent upgrade on Earthshaker, you actually get 2 totems. Basically, like, straight after the other with the cooldown timer on it. So, like, your lockdown and your damage output is actually huge on him.
Yeah, you would need, I think, some way to buff him up, though. Like Magnus, for example. Magnus Shaker sounds great.
but then you'd have to run a safe lane Magnus. And now Lina comes up from OG, so we've seen the Chinese already using it a hell of a lot with the early Bloodstone Lina and the almost non-existent death time. It seems like it's OG's turn to run that Lina mid.
Oh, Lina has so much attack speed, too. That synergy with the precision aura. Oof.
Yeah, they're going to rip through buildings.
They really are. Faceless, I'm very scared for their early game. Last game, they had a great early game, a great line to deal with the early game. They just kind of fell apart as the Bloodseekers. This game, it seems completely flipped.
Do you like to say, like, hey, Black, you got to play like a Naga Siren? Like, we need to have the Song of the Siren to slow this game down.
Naga, you will just lose in 20 minutes.
Well, what else do you do?
You had to fight them head on with, I don't know.
Yeah, with what? Like you're not going to jump in there with a Phantom Assassin. She's going to die almost instantly.
Gyro, something like that. Some early team fighter. Lifestealer is not good here.
Does Juggernaut like get completely destroyed when the Visage?
PA is okay. PA is not great, but it's
I could see
playable.
PA getting nuked. Like that's my issue.
You can jump on Visage or Drow Ranger. You have a good team fight around you. I would. PA's not bad. Slark.
Slark's already banned.
Oh, Slark's banned. Okay.
Yeah.
So what else do you have? Venge would have been good. You can swap the Drow Ranger, and that's a very good way to start off a fight. I don't know. Gyro Jug is kind of my only two good options, I think, for Black. I'm sure there's more, but I can't think of any off the top of my head right now.
Some with good D push.
Troll's not bad. I actually do like Troll. Troll's pretty decent. They don't have anyone to synergize. Invoker does not think. Oh, Spec. Oh, they are. Oh. Whew.
This could really bite him in the ass just looking at the draft.
Yes.
Like we did see some Spec play earlier today, which was quite decent. In fact, Spectre was even running an aggro tri-lane, and they found the damage out of that. But
I think Spec is going to get aggro tri here. Earthshaker is a very weak support. Especially in try-on-try situations.
So what, you're actually thinking like you're going to run the Centaur and Nyx on the top lane, and then
Centaur
just put
like
Dro, Kunkka, Visage on the off lane?
Sure. Visage is great in tri-lanes. Visage is one of the best tri-lane heroes.
I suppose, like, what's the Earthshaker? Like, Warlock should still be really great at harassing out the lane. But if you got a...
He's not good on 3-on-3, though. Because Shadow Word is great on, like, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, but when it gets to 3 heroes, like, Fatal Bonds is like, okay.
I suppose, what are you going to do? You're going to dodge? You're going to put the Nyx Assassin on bottom lane up against this? You're probably just going to lose the Nyx Assassin straight away.
Well, we'll see.
It seems like a very rough
I do think you
draft.
dodged, though. I think you kind of put your Spectre away from the action. You're just like, you know, Drow Rangers might take a tower too, but you need Spectre to get like...
But the away from the action's only going to last for 10 minutes.
The Spectre needs whatever she can get.
It seems like a very rough end, no matter how you look at it.
Spectre is a hero that can get on top of Drow Ranger. So let's look at why Spectre is good here. Spectre's tanky, so you won't get bursted down by Lina.
Yeah.
Spectre's good at chasing down heroes and a decent amount of move speed, so Stampede's not the biggest engine in the world. It's good at causing a lot of chaos in the fights, which Drow Ranger does not like. You do not want anyone close to you as Drow Ranger. You just want to be able to shoot from like 700 Ranger away with your Dragon Lance. That's ideal. So all these things are good, and it's also very, very good late game because sometimes you might have some scaling issues, especially with right click if like Nyx assassinates your offlaner. But downside, you get crushed in lane. And you're terrible at anti-push without items, and it does not look like it's going to be a game where Spectre will be able to get a lot of items. However, they have placed in Reserve Ward deep on the bottom lane. They did use a smoke.
I like how they're both trying to get the wards down.
Yeah.
Dang, did they scout that out? Did they scout that maneuvering from Kunkka? Like, Jirox came up, and he still had an Observer Ward on him, but that Dire Observer was right on top of the shrine.
Oh, they pinged it out. They know where it is.
Oh, it's almost the same as before, and they put a sentry to the... Okay, wrong buttons.
Well, those 2 sentries cover the entirety of that small camp.
Yeah.
So
they know they're going to get their pull. They know they're going to get the early experience.
But it was a sentry ward expended for a sentry ward. It's not the value sentry for knobs. So it's... And not the best for them...
But they still keep their own Observer Ward
another
down.
Smoke. Oh, this is aggressive. No-tail Jerax Fly going for...
They had the vision. Why not? Like, all they have to do is just wrap around.
XY's there, though.
They'll go for anyone who goes for the rune. And Jabs, yeah, you could taunt all you want as the Invoker. You're dead. He'll run back in. The smoke will break. The Torrent's right on the money. And Jabs has nowhere to go but down. The Sunstrike's coming in, but they all split up. They ensure that Notel gets the last hit. So the Draw Ranger will be buffed up. They don't take the rune as well, but they will be able to take the rune from their own jungle. But that's a huge start. Now Ana has more space in the mid.
And he got the block off, too. Look at that creep wave positioning. That is possibly one of the worst as a melee or range-on-range matchup.
The upside is the Jabs doesn't lose any money from it. Like, he already bought up his salve after he grabbed the rune. Then he was running back into the mid. And when he TP'd him, that's the only money he does expend. And I get a funny feeling that's actually purchased by one of his supports and not him. But you are right. The lane position is going to cost him.
He does have 2 range creeps against him, though, so it should be okay. Oh, Ana actually go for the level 1 stun. You don't see that very often. Normally it's Slave, Fiery Soul Slave. Slave cast point is way shorter, and it's also way longer range, too, so you generally just use it to get a last hit and constantly harass the heroes. For Light Strike Array, the radius is a little bit too small in order to get a creep and the hero at the same time. It's very good at like anti-range creep denies, which is super important in mid.
S4 barely survives the Shadow Word on bottom lane. Black and Nurse really trying to get up in his face. S4 is still able to get a lot of experience out of this lane, so he's perfectly alright with what's going on. The Observe Ward that got dewatered out by XY, so Vision is kind of already their way. And you can see G-Rex trying to like repair the situation by running forward and getting a ward a little bit further to the north. Trying to force a sentry ward out to also stop that. And S4's going to find some extra life. These tangos as well, Salve is just not cutting it. He needs to have his Tranquil Boots done. He's already having to burn the Shrine 2 minutes in.
That's fine. Warlock Spec is actually one of the stronger Spectre lanes. I think Lich Spectre and Warlock Spectre are the 2 strongest Spectre lanes. So it's not a surprise that he's struggling a little bit. He also has to worry about Sunstrike.
Well, I keep my eyes on this Drow Ranger. Mainly how much space she's able to get. Like, how quick does that level 6 arrive for No-Tail?
I like how the supports aren't soaking up the experience, though. That's one of the main important things about playing a Drow Ranger lane.
Nice fissure. Stun to follow up from Ice, but then Torrent. Spine Carol's caused a little bit of issues. The Sunstrike. Fly turns around to stand his ground and fight. They're trying to use the double damage on XY to make this work, but No-Tail, he went for the 2 points up in the cold arrows, making this very difficult for Nyx Assassin to have any chance of escaping. The only chance he has to deny himself, he's trying to time it up perfectly to take the damage from the trolls, but it won't work. Not when G-Rex is able to hit the perfect Torrent.
Jarek's actually TP'd to the Shrine. Pretty efficient. Yeah, that's...
It's funny that he TP'd to that Shrine when they're just going to trigger up the other Shrine right next to both Ana as well as Fly. So they're a little bit more odd.
That happens. Just not communicating 100%, but I don't know. There's always that sort of thing in team chat. Some people like to keep it as a minimum as possible so the really important things can get across.
Ice is taking a lot of damage here. He doesn't want to turn around and battle up against Centaur. And S4 is very happy with this. Does the damage, TP's out. Can actually get by both his Ring of Protection.
No Sunstrike was used.
Yeah.
They really needed that. I think it would have been a kill. 162, I'm pretty sure he was in kill range for that. Oh, early game, Ana getting the better of the mid lane. Probably because of that level 1 maneuver from the side of OG. Spectre very high on the CS. That is also pretty good for them. Looks like Nyx Centaur are about the same. How are the supports faring? Level 2 on Warlock, whereas we have level 2 on the Visage, and Kunkka is level 3.
Hello. XY picked up, thrown back. He was X-marked into Torrent. That's what put him into a bad position, but Ana being cold snap needs to get out of vision. But now with a frostbite hitting him, the soul assumption's there from Fly, and the fissure is still not enough to kill off Ana. And it was the Forged Spirit inside the pit, giving that extra vision. But X-Mark spotted Torrent. That's XY very much dead. And OG now 5-0 on the board. This is a lot better early game for them.
JRX making the moves in the early game, and Visage is also just very, very strong. They try to contest it with 2, which I'm a little bit surprised about, just because Earthshaker is just not the strongest in dual lane unless you have like a super badass offlaner, but Nyx Assassin is more a defensive offlaner.
They're going in deeper. Anna doesn't have his level 6 just yet, but with an X-Mark and Torrent... Wait, hang on. He's X-Marking himself, but doesn't have enough mana for Torrent.
I think he might have wanted a TP. But
he had the mana for the TP, just decided not to trigger it.
Yeah, maybe he was trying to drop, but I'm actually not sure other than
he just put an Observer Ward on top of an Observer Ward. So that's not going to last very long.
Spectre, very close to level 6. Going for the phase boost and the magic stick, very early game centric build. If you hold off for Radiance, it's just not going to work out well for you because Dry Ranger and the rest of OG have had a pretty good start. So you can expect your towers to start falling pretty soon. Ana clearing up for that Laguna. Can they actually get a kill on Jabs? Yeah, there's no one in around. Probably not.
There's the Jirax TP. Back up to top lane. Fly's making his way over.
Oh, he's going for a phase.
Notel's only half a level away from having his level 6.
Oh, he showed with the stun.
Well, so with no stun, does he actually have enough mana? He's got enough mana for a Spike Carapace. At just over, but now silenced up, the Spike Carapace will hit in. Fly has a lot of charges up in that Soul Assumption, and with one last attack in from Notel, they'll find the kill. Fissure Block really keeps Fly out and Jirax in the river, but no one else is rotating up to really capitalize on the situation.
You mentioned that the Zero Ward is going to die, but they had full vision behind the tower and knew that no one was there to save Ice. Wasn't able to pop the Carapace. Very nicely timed Gust coming from Notel. That will make the score a 6-0. Faceless. Potentially they can kill very soon. Level 6 is up on Spectre, however. He does not have enough for both Haunt and the Spectral Dagger. So who can they actually kill with it? I would say mid's probably the best. Invoker with Cold Snap plus Spectre on top of her.
Onto the Lina.
Very good, yeah.
But at the same time, like if you commit too heavily, too far, Lina's just going to nuke you down.
You got to get kills.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't disagree with it.
One level of dispersion is enough to
Jirax.
Kill Spec.
He's trying to juke it in the Roche pit. But he's got the movement speed. Just basic boots is enough. Top lane, Sunstrike, right onto the Drow Ranger. It says Notel hits level 6. You expect him to be the aggressor. But Black jumps up, finds the kill on the safe laner, and then we'll have to TP straight back down to bottom lane.
He got mangoed from Ice.
I believe so.
Yeah. What a bro.
Well, Ice is getting pretty close to getting his arcane boots. With that kill up on top, he gets more space to farm. And his net worth is only like 600 gold behind that of the Drow Ranger. In fact, the amount of money on Notel is quite low. And you see Notel switch the lane. Like, he comes down to bottom lane, you got a decent creep wave, you got S4 with Stampede up and running, and they're just going to force the tier 1 tower on bottom. No Spectral Haunt, it's a license to fight. Oh, Korea. And now Fly's in trouble too. Sunstrike, after the 2 stuns, no way for Fly to survive that.
Well, they use a scan on bottom. Black is scouted out. His TP is down, though, so he's going to have to sit there for 20 seconds-ish?
Yep, and just burn his Spectral Dagger, so he has to stand in the tree lines on the side. Now, you got no way for OG to get there, but they don't care. Spectre is removed from the fight for too long, and that's a tier 1 tower then. I think Jirax is actually looking for him with Torrent.
I don't even think they can get there to kill him, though. They'd have to Quelling Blade like 10 trees. But they know that he did use his TP to get down here.
Yeah. Well, there goes the tower. It's a little bit of a miss on the last hit. It was only the creep that took it.
Midas still not out for Invoker, but 9 minutes. He's purchasing his recipe right now. It's pretty decent for him.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby indeed. Looks like Ana will be going the Bloodstone first build. The norm nowadays.
Yep. Is that the Dominator on the Courier? As I just completely misclick it. Yeah, it is. So the Dominator is coming down for Notel. Might want to TP up to the top lane just a bit. With a Drow Ranger, if any tier 1 tower is still standing, especially with a start like this for Notel, like you want them all down in 15 minutes, by the 15-minute mark.
Ice, searching for potential prey. It is S4, though. Sunstrike, they're going to need a lot more than just a Sunstrike.
It's the Earthshaker Fissure. That's what's going to hold him here. A little bit longer, but S4. Gets the Stampede off and gets away, so Spectral Haunt gets wasted and no kills. Yes, you burn Stampede, but with no Spectral Haunt, Notel feels very confident to do his push, and they're looking to the mid. And this is Fly, who's still short of level 6 himself, so there's no Familiars to just buff this push-up. But that's why they have the Wild Wing. Tornado up makes it very difficult for Faceless to get in close and stop this push.
They even have a Observer Ward behind the tower still.
Jirax finds his target. And he's got the extra nuke available, but doesn't throw out the Laguna. Had more than enough to kill him with base abilities. And goodbye top lane. S4 gets picked off there.
I did like how he used the Carapace to try and line him up after a return when he broke the Vendetta last time, but nope, not really able to connect. Lina doing Lina things, trying to pick off nuts in the bottom lane, and she's just such a menace with Drow Aura.
How much is she actually doing? She's doing a decent amount.
It's just her attack speed and her range is so high that it's very easy for her to kill stuff. I wonder what talent she's going to pick up. So she actually takes the respawn time. I've actually seen a fair amount of people take the Light Strike Array, but respawn time is really good.
It's what we're seeing from the Chinese. With the Bloodstone and the respawn time, it's instant up. Like, you have like 3 Linas, and you may need her. The Rock will drop, the Fatal Bonds will connect him, and Ana, not a healthy man, tries to nuke down the Nyx Assassin, and Ana's taking too much damage because Notel's copying it, so is Fly. They just have to run and let that saddle regeneration do the work, but Ana, 40, trying to bottle charge through it, 20. Finally, the fissure will connect. And it connects on Fly to ensure that kill, which gets the Lina in return. She's already back into the world of the living. And this is without a Bloodstone running down the bottom lane. And this is when you have to back up if you're Faceless, because if you don't, that X mark spot's going to pull him back over with the ship and Laguna Blade available. They can just kill off Black, not even having to use it. Sorry, Laguna Blade is down. So they get the kill on the spec. And ISI starts running away. Ana with that high movement speed. Torrent won't be able to connect, but they do have that vision of where Ice is.
They need the X. Oh.
And they got it. Yep. Say goodbye to Nuts. Bloody him and his name having Ice in the end. I will reprimand him.
Respawn time is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why would you take the Light Strike Array when you can have that?
Because you don't expect to die. But as Lina, especially versus Nyx in the game, I think you're going to die a lot. S4 gets jumped. Same deal. Does the Carapace on a return? No way to outplay that if you're Centaur.
You've committed Echo Slam. I think they realized they did just a little bit more damage to kill the Centaur.
Better safe than sorry. Mm-hmm. And he has raindrops, so, you know.
But I'm looking at bottom lane again. Like, there's no Spectral Haunt, there's no Echo Slam, there's no Rock. So Notel knows he can just solo push the tier 2 tower down and still take the objective he wants. And so far, Faceless still haven't taken a tier 1 tower. The TP comes up towards top lane, so OG, they continue to lose players on this top lane defense, but they haven't lost any of their tier 1 towers yet. Maybe now they do lose S4. Sunstrike will connect. Ice can't get over the other side of the fissure, so Stampede forward. Notel will arrive up on the top lane. If he's got Gust available, can push him back with a double edge. Nyx Assassin down very, very low. That last arrow, not enough. He dropped down to 6 HP. Black under the tower. A Frostbite. Another stun. Black just wants to kill him off. The damage. He may have enough Spike Carapace. Ice will survive and TP out after killing off Notel. At the same time, you do lose jabs in the mid lane.
Big
to a
plays.
side gank out from OG.
Big plays from both sides. Ice and S4 going at it.
But then the D-push of the dominated creep.
They're doing a really good job of controlling the tower momentum in this game, I would say. Like, this is exactly what you want as a Drow Ranger. Being able to defend all those towers and take down all the towers and just open up the map for your entire Tina farm, eventually take down Roshan, and just make this a much faster game than a Spectre and a Warlock want to play against. Like, when have we seen a Rock drops? It's been a while.
Yeah.
When are they going to be able to use the Haunt? Like, Haunt's pretty long cooldown, 140 at the first level, and you just definitely do not want to give her time to find Radiance. And I do see the quick buy Spectre just going for straight Radiance after the Fate's Urn.
XY is going to fissure out. Ice to the neighborhood. He's going to try and just ship and torrent his way to safety, but that's not going to work for Jirax. It will be nuts to find the kill on him. And they knew he was coming over. The Observer and Sentry Ward up next to Bounty Rune saw it all.
Black says, get this Centaur away from me.
I need space to farm. Doesn't exist at the moment. And the Dire Observable actually is cut off by the tree line, so it sees the back of the tier 2 tower in mid, but doesn't see the rotation of jabs to the bottom lane. And it will be. 2 towers gone. They try and X marks back. But that's it. Towers will fall and OG will TP out. They're already looking to try and find Black out of position. They know they have to delay that Radiance a little bit longer.
I don't know how much difference the Radiance are going to make here. They have the mech up pretty soon on the Visage, so they have the team fight items to weather it. And I think after those 3 towers have been taken down in the mid and left,
Get the proper initiation he wants. Oh, next marks the spot. They actually managed to hit onto jabs. Torrent's going to miss his timing. The sentry ward was planted down as Ice just thumps the ground, but doesn't bring the rock.
that was a little scary for Jabs. Whew. Got lucky that Jerax missed his combination. They would love to take that in a Roche, but they're going to have to look for another opportunity to do so. Where are these smokes? I see one on Jerax. It's a pretty good time to smoke, I would say. They still need a hit before the Radiance is online for Spectre. Looks like he does have enough money for the Relic. Heading to the shop right now, still 1,200 gold away. So just a couple of minutes. The supports have nowhere to farm, though. Like, Spectre's already having enough trouble farming. It definitely gets priority over, like, the Shaker.
Yeah. But Shaker needs the Blink Dagger in order to start the team fights.
Yep.
Because right now, Ice is getting just worked. S4's always got the better position on him, and with Stampede and Blink Dagger, you are not surprised about that.
Yeah, Centaur's just much better at farming than Nexus Assassin 2.
Mm-hmm. The Nyx was meant to be farming heroes in combination with the Sunstrike, but Jabs hasn't really had the opportunity to make the most out of that Sunstrike. Like, there's been a couple of kills here and there, but it hasn't been really... hasn't really been happening a lot. And Ice is already on the hunt again. They go invis, they smoke up quickly. Look for their target if they possibly can. But on bottom lane, Ana and S4, they're wrapping around. So Ice is the frontline guinea pig. See if the smoke breaks. See if there's anyone invis. Fly is nearby. But they don't really know to go down this. They just leave an observe ward behind. Now they get the vision over on Fly. S4 and Ana are moving over as well, but it's just going to be like ships of the night at the moment. They're both near each other, but no one really hits any mark.
Still waiting for Roche. When can they get it? I think they can take it out super quickly, but with the lack of a medallion on the Visage, it's not going to be as quick as they'd like. I definitely prefer the mech in this scenario, though.
But you've still got all the damage you need from the Lina, right?
Yeah, but it's just not that fast. Spectre inside the pit, it could be a disaster.
When I'm looking at the Lina attacking that quickly and doing about 210 a hit.
Yeah, look at the siege.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And they're forced to fortify of a basic attack from a Lina.
Plus 50 damage talent. Wow.
Who needs cast range? So you're going to have the plus 50 damage, then the plus 150 attack range. Spire Carapace will connect, but it's all about the Light Strike array that was just meant to hold him there with the EMP burn. This is problematic for OG, but they already have enough damage to kill off Ice. The Echo Slam, minimal effectiveness from XY, but the Fatal Bonds, that may do more work. Visage is dying so quickly. Even S4's having trouble staying alive. The Sunstrike looking for his target, won't be able to connect. As Durax starts his run, goes for the Torrent. S4 will die. Durax right behind him. Took that damage from Black and it all got shared out. Even the poor little Purge Creep won't be able to survive. Another Tornado. Jab's made so much space in that last fight, and now he's in a little bit more trouble with the Guna Blade and the familiar drop down. The control is just too good. Anna No Tail, you have to respect the damage output of these two heroes.
Where was the earn up from Black? He didn't earn while they were chasing. They were like very hesitant about chasing the tower. Ana kept trying to cancel a stun as they were coming up the hill, but they weren't chopped off, and Laguna had not been used yet at that point. Ana is still very, very strong. And even though there was only 2 people, No Tail was also up. So giving that precision armor to them, looks like this will be the time for them to... X to push out the bottom lane. Nice.
Yep. Well, he's got a lot of clearance, so hey, why not? What do you actually think about his build going into the Aghanim Scepter? I know it's not an unusual thing for Lina to get, but when you're going for this heavy DPS build, is there something better you can go? Like, I'm not saying like Maelstrom is going to be like the item of choice or something
Silver
like
Edge
that.
would be my choice, actually. I like Silver Edge a lot versus Spectre. Getting rid of that dispersion, Spectre's so easy to kill, especially with the Yules to set up. You can just like Yules, stun, Silver Edge, break after the stun, and then just kill him, kill her.
Sounds like a good way to start the day.
Yeah.
There's that Blink Dagger up for XY. Hiding in the tree line on the bottom lane. Primary issue is Echo Slam is still down for another 35 seconds. The advantage is OG aren't looking to push.
They actually need more items up on Centaur. Centaur is falling a little bit behind in terms of farm.
Need to finish the BKB as well in No Tail.
Yep. Pipe is going to be very important. Even with the mech, they got rolled in the fight with the Haunts plus the Fatal Bonds. So they still need to be able to kill the Warlock. Warlock is very high priority in the fight. Probably even higher than anyone else, I would say, if his rock's still up.
Well, that's why you saw S4 initiating on him when OG was looking to take that tier 2 tower on top.
Yeah, he needs to die. He needs to get Laguna or Boded or Gusted. Just any one of those is fine. But can't allow him to drop rock plus Fatal Bonds when Spectre can just clean up in the back line. Spectre just, you know, it was kind of a slow mid game, so that's kind of favorable to Spectre. But it's kind of that point where, like, one bad fight and Spectre, it can just be out of control for the rest of the game with a Manta style.
The Nuts Rock is back off cooldown, so that will be available. And it's having the time of his life farming, but Draw Ranger maybe not. Fissure actually pushed him into the Sunstrike. So the Aegis Immortal is going to disappear.
Just one Nick stun. That's all it took. Well, and then a plethora of other spells, but all they need to set it up.
But Anna back into the farm. It's like, okay, so Aegis Immortal will disappear.
They want to be able to push into this, but fighting uphill and the Spectre into the Shrine is really hard. Yeah. They have to be able to X people back and just constantly get picks with those, but with no Aegis anymore, Drow Ranger could just die at a drop of a feather. Drop of a hat? What's it saying? Drop of a hat. I was like, drop of a feather? It doesn't sound right. It could be really slow, but it...
Blown over like a feather? Is that what you're trying to go for?
Drop of a hat.
Drop of a hat.
Drop of a hat. I think that's Sing. It doesn't sound right, though.
Drop like a sack of potatoes.
That sounds like some EU thing.
It's
the EU equivalent.
I don't know if that's a European source.
Oh, stun out onto Ana. Caught up by Ice Ice.
Tornado! It doesn't reach him.
Too farmed.
Ana's got so much movement speed to get away. And now he gets extra bottle charges with his regen rune, with the bounty rune.
Just a little bit of time wasted for Faceless. No big deal. Buying time for Spec to get big.
I'm assuming, too, he goes for the plus 40/4% Fiery Soul stack. Goodbye, S4. That's his 25, like, talent in this. And goodbye, Kunkka. He even got the Observer Ward and Sentry down, but it still didn't help him.
Good kills, good kills. Spectre getting the time that he needs. I actually think that H skill was really important. They were looking to break high ground at that exact point in time. And when your Drow just dies like that, you're like, well, that's that. If that happens one more time, we lose everything.
Hannah's looking. I don't know if he knows he's being stalked by Ice, so we'll connect on the stun. Sunstrike's coming in. It's still not enough damage to find the kill.
They need a max mana burn. So a couple more levels for that.
Yeah, but good luck, Ice. He can't find the space. At least the Radiant's been done with the Meta Star coming up. But even then, that's going to work against you. The Illusions are going to push out the lanes. They're not going to take the experience.
He might need a Midas, actually, on Ice. Because I think eventually you're going to want a Scepter. Mana Burn versus Lina with the Scepter, oh my god, that would be so annoying to deal with. And even though she's building into a battle build, she is still quite susceptible to just being mana burned down time after time. And the question of who is going to break
hello.
grounds.
They saw the X mark. The Sunstrike's coming in and boom! Ana is down, but the ship return. They try and control up Ice. So there's going to be some level of revenge. Another X marks the spot. This one's over on the Nyx Assassin, but he's pulled back quickly. The Familiars hot on the trail. They are going to get the stuns down, 1 and 2, and allow Notel to come in range, but another Fissure and the Spike Carapace, making it difficult. Ice just goes in. He blinks himself in to be part of the fight. There was no other support coming his way. And now no Nyx Assassin, and OG just want to push. Because you had an instant respawn on the Lina. But where are they going? They're going top lane. They're looking for Black. He's got a TP scroll available as well as Spectral Haunt. And there goes the TP. The Radiant scan up. They actually hit the mark as well. And a lot of time wasted here of OG.
They didn't even have Echo up. If they had Echo up for that fight, I think they could have reinitiated in. And they could have, like, as Nyx was getting X back and he popped his Carapace, they could have blinked in with the Echo and then follow with an Impale. That could have been really devastating for OG had Echo been up. But was not. Just a little bit of ways. Spectre, Manta coming on very, very soon. OG, they seem a little bit worried at this point. I think it's definitely warranted. Ana shows how easily he can die without the BKB. Spectre has not died in a very long time.
Mm-hmm. This is what Black does, right? Like, has a very, very hard early game, and then just seems to vanish off the face of the map, appears every now and then for a team fight, but just walks out with a crap ton of money. And he has the second highest net worth on the field. Obviously, he's nowhere near the power of the Lina. Like, with Ags going into BKB for Ana, Ana's going to have a very fun time surviving in the fights. And if the Draw Ranger can stick up with her, there's a lot of money there too. Goodbye, Courier.
Notel already has BKB though, so he's actually he can do a lot of damage as long as he just doesn't get stunned first though. It could just take a rock for them to just lose the fight and him not be able to pop his BKB in time.
So I'm wondering if he goes for something like the Hurricane Pike, like actually finishing it. Like actually no, he's already looking at it in the quick buy. Thinking anything which can give him that extra range. Even if he does get stunned, he has the potential to escape. He just doesn't have the sustain once he gets hit by Fatal Bonds with everybody together. Like, that seems to be the bigger problem he has.
Yep, just has to BKB it.
Yep. So BKB, Hurricane Pike for reposition, and then
they need the Centaur Axe. That's the missing component for their lineup right now.
Yeah, that's another 3,000 gold away.
Yeah, they need a little bit more farm on him. He's...
Oh, hello. But it's an X mark. Like, even if Ice initiates on this, it doesn't achieve anything.
Yeah, just pull him back, no problem.
They're waiting for Roshan. That's all they really need. And that BKB money from Ana is...
The Axe is making quite tanky, though.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one of the better reasons to buy Ags this game. But yeah, I mean, no pipe, no like magic resist at all. So the pure versus the magic.
You're seeing Fly try and buy it. Like that's what's in his buy at the moment. At least the hood part of it. You are right. Without the resistance.
Yeah, it's unusual for sure.
Well, there's the BKB done. And soon it's going to be that time when OG want to force the issue. But they need to almost bait it out, right? Like you gotta get Echo Slam as well as Spectral Haunt Rock. Like they're the three major abilities that you're looking to have one or two of these on cooldown.
How do you bait it out without dying?
Good question. Very good question.
I don't know if it's bait if you just die.
X mark a target closer. It's just like, do you want this? Do you want this? Just give us some slack and reel it in. Sunstrike, gonna hit the mark, and there's your X mark. Ice, pulled back in. Torrent will hold him there, and there's the Nyx Assassin down. Rock will fall. They need the kills. Fatal Bonds does connect up quite nicely, but there's no real damage coming in. The Rock's already been dealt with, and now it's Ice being pulled back into Nuts being pulled back into the fight. He'll go down. Your Echo Slam will connect. The damage is high with the Fatal Bonds connecting them. It will do some work, but no tell. The BKB will protect him. Now Spectre up and towards the air. Ana on 60 HP will survive. Jabs wants him to tornado. It will not be able to connect, however. So the Bloodstone regeneration is kicking in. Familiar's still being pesky on the back of XY. Won't allow him to blink away quickly. And that's why Notal is moving forward. And Ana comes back to the front lines too.
It's such a tough fight for Faceless. They're trying to bait out Ice, but it's... Where was the follow-up? They just let him die early on. The Rock came out a tiny bit late, but the Echo Slam is really what needs to come in for them. Or Haunt. Actually, Haunt wouldn't have really done anything there. They need the Fatal Bonds up before the Haunt. But OG are kind of just sticking up as a ball, which is really good versus Desolate, but really bad.
Lends the stun. Here comes the Sunstrike. Fatal Bonds. The Familiar's connected, and Ana's going to fall. Ice will lose his life, but it does stop the Roshan from happening quickly. But S4 gets the perfect Hoof Stomp. That's the bigger one. Catching out Jabs, ending his killing spree.
Oh, look who's back in 5 seconds.
It's Alina! And just BT'd onto the Familiars. Goodbye, Roshan. She's still got 9 Bloodstone charges after all of this.
Pretty nice.
You're getting an armlet in for Kunkka. So Jirax is looking to amplify his damage and his sustain. Notel's going for the E-Blade.
Ooh, the E-Blade. That's not one we see often.
Because it normally works against what the Drow Ranger does, but statistics-wise, it's actually really good for the cost. I suppose it does buff up with both Visage as well as Lina. Maybe not with the Ags, but...
And Butterfly actually doesn't give you any HP, which you need for all this magic burst. So EB does give you perhaps that extra little bit of strength that you might need to survive.
Mm-hmm.
But now the siege begins. I wonder if we're actually going to start seeing Dragon Lances on Lina's so they can attack from outside the tower range.
It would make sense, but would you really want to get a Dragon Lance when Bloodstone's still your priority target?
Nah, you actually don't need it because it's
Echo Slam up on top. Do they have enough damage? Drow Ranger, Notal BK beat up. He'll survive through this. That's the Echo Slam and the Spectral Haunt out, and they did not find the kills.
They just have not been great at coordinating their ultimates. He was at 200 HP. That is like almost anything.
They messed up. I'm fairly certain Notal was expecting to be X marks back by Jirax. He'll have to walk it now.
Still provides position aura.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know why I mentioned
Look at Hannah!
Yeah, they have the attack range talent on her.
He doesn't even care about our people. It's like, okay, yeah, well done, Nuts. You keep that down. You just do that. But Ana is a sniper. The Familiars will get the vision up on the high ground, and Ana takes the tier 3 tower. Well worth the 100 gold you lost. Okay, you just threw away 200 gold.
504 move speed with 3 fiery soul stacks. That's very fast. And, of course, a ton of attack speed. How fast is she attacking? 0.3 seconds each attack.
This woman is a machine gun. Anna's looking for a little bit more as the melee Rax is already taken out. The Familiars help do the work on that. They'll both clap down. This is the resummon of Fly too. He doesn't have a new set for another 2 minutes, so he really wants to try and save him. And with only the Fiery Spirits doing damage, it's easy enough.
Oh my goodness, Lina is ridiculous.
Ridiculous is the word. What are we looking to buy up? The Courier is making a run, so who's got the most amount of money right now? There's 4k gold sitting on the Invoker.
Spectre's...
This is Lincoln's.
Is he needling? I guess X ruins him. But generally, you just get BKB.
Or is it just to try and avoid that burst damage as well from the Lina?
Potentially. But
then
normally...
she's got Yules.
Yeah, normally you wouldn't get caught by... You wouldn't get caught unless you get X, though. So, well, here they go. Smoke up. The Drow Ranger's not there, but they're actually showing the Drow Ranger alone. And OG, oh, Black, they know Black's coming. They scanned him out. Oh my goodness, what a stun.
Oh,
wow.
And the Familiar rocks, it's everything will hold him there. And there's no buyback.
What a play. Oh my goodness.
73 seconds on the sideline. Black doesn't have anything. He picked up Blade Mail. He was hoping to actually kill OG, and now it's even the Earth Spirit who has to be force-staffed away to safety. It was XY's own force-staff, but Anna starts up again. Kill off the Forge Spirits, and then just pew 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 hee hee ho ho ha ha.
There's snipers, and then there's
there's
7.00 snipers.
It's like Lina, who always is involved in the early fights, because it doesn't matter if she dies, and then just becomes a powerhouse. They put the Observer Ward up on the hill, so there's no obstructed vision now, and with the Drow Ranger and the Lina together, the racks just disintegrate. Didn't realize I still had the Lina gold up. I'm like, wow, she's got a lot of net worth just sitting on a casual 6,000 gold for Lina. Do the split push, X marker back. I don't know if she really needs to buy a Blink Dagger at this point.
Probably not. Just 6,300 gold. Why waste it on a 2,200 gold item?
Yep.
What else would you get, though?
Bloodthorn.
Bloodthorn? Bloodthorn's pretty good.
So you trigger the Lincolns with the Yule Scepter and then instantly go into the Bloodthorn on the Invoker? I mean, he's got no answer to that.
I like the damage aspect from that.
Well, she puts... Okay, that's what you're doing. A double damage rune bolted up. There goes the Aegis, the Immortal now.
Could always get Rapier.
Could get Rapier, but the risk just doesn't... It's not required. MKB, Daedalus, they'll be your other options.
I don't think you need MKB, and there's very little evasion, just the Radiance burn.
Yeah.
So that would definitely not be my choice.
The mischance that you get. And it's Bloodthorn. Ba-boom. Right the first time, man.
Yeah, Bloodthorn is the most... It's an expensive item that synergizes well with what she's trying to do. Daedalus wouldn't... I actually wouldn't have minded Daedalus at all, but I think Bloodthorn allows you to use your BKB a little bit less. Like if you're trying to go on the Nyx, you can just Bloodthorn instead of trying to pop your BKB to burst the Nyx down.
This one little Sada Banisher is trying to force Faceless out of their hiding positions. But OG are already coming down the mid lane. They're pushing with Familiars. They're going to force Faceless to reveal themselves just with a push in the lane.
And another smoke. Where are they going now? They know one more kill on Black is likely the game, but he is right next to his Ranger X and right next to 2 shrines.
If that can keep him alive. Deeper Observer Ward.
Black's right next to the shrine, though.
He doesn't see it. There's the jump forward. S4 just baiting at the Mana Style. Visual will be there as well. And the Echo Slam. All of that's on top of S4. And they still don't find the kill. They turn on the pipe. The Feather Bonds will connect up OG for now. And maybe with the upheaval, they're a little bit too slow to get away. But no, they are fast enough. The BKBs protected them. So many huge abilities triggered out by Faceless. So there's going to be nothing left in the tank. The Blade Mail on Spectre yules up into the air and then hit the ground, being completely unprotected. Fly will actually take the double kill. Jabs was also forced to buy back. Without that Invoker, without that control, they just can't do much more. You do have Spec with his own buyback, but OG lost nothing. and everything from Faces as far as ultimates were expended.
They were scrambling to catch him out. The Invoker blinked into Ice Wall and then just died in like 5 right clicks. Maybe not 5 right clicks. Maybe like it seemed like 5 right clicks. It was so fast.
Yeah, with Alina, that's only like maybe 0.0001 of a second.
Wow. Yeah, Invoker, like now he's like, well, I have a Lincoln's, but it didn't do anything for me because I just got right clicked.
Mm-hmm. It's when you wonder if that BKB choice would have been a little bit better, but
it also doesn't do anything versus right clicks.
Yeah, there's so much physical damage just flying at him. Well, there's your buyback over on Black. The tier 3 town down low fortification also triggered off. And no ultimates coming up, but you can see what Ice is trying to do. He TPs into the shrine. He comes up from behind to get some level of vision, but they've got no way to initiate.
They have a gem on Centaur. They have the Ags. The Stampede's already cooled down. So how do you jump into that?
I don't know. Maybe that's one way to do it. Find Jirax out of position. Remember, he's got that armlet. He's got the toggle available. Lina slowed up a little bit, but with the BKB done, okay, you just instantly rip apart. You'll lose the Invoker in the mid. You'll lose the Nyx Assassin over from the side. Spike Carapace will allow him to survive just that little bit longer, but the familiar stun was already there. Nuts will give the extra heal, but he'll also give his life, and that's basically the game. GG is the call. It is OG who will remain undefeated in Group A as they take out Faceless 2-0 and claim the maximum points so far of the day.
OG are ahead of the curve, though, with the Visage constantly picked, bringing back Drow Ranger when no one's been touching her at all, and, of course, Lina, which has been quite the trend, and I foresee will be the hot hero of this patch. That was a terrible pun. I didn't mean to do that.
I liked it, though. I
so
liked
hot.
it a lot.
She's really good, though.
Oh
my
yeah.
goodness.
No, if we actually want to look at it, so obviously Anna, it was almost too easy. That was only just above average.